Tumbleseed's time-traveling turnip. In the quaint village of Thistledown, where the days meandered by like a gentle brook, there lived an eccentric inventor by the name of Timothy Tumbleseed. Timothy was a man of peculiar habits and wild hair, with spectacles so thick they magnified his eyes to an alarming size. His house was perched on the edge of the village, like a hat about to tumble off a head, and it was filled to the brim with gears, gadgets, and gizmos. But of all Timothy's inventions, none was so remarkable, nor so bewildering, as his time-traveling turnip. It was not a grand machine as one might expect, but rather a simple root vegetable, plucked from Timothy's garden, with a curious shimmer to its skin and a faint hum to its presence. One stormy evening, as Timothy tinkered in his workshop, a bolt of lightning struck his home, sending a surge of otherworldly energy through the air. It zapped the turnip, which sat innocently on the workbench, and in a flash of blinding light and a pop of displaced air, the turnip vanished. When Timothy's vision cleared, he gaped at the space where the turnip had been. Before he could form a hypothesis on what had occurred, there was a knock at the door. Timothy opened it to find a boy, no older than 10, with tousled hair and eyes wide with wonder. "I'm Toby," the boy said, "and I think I found your turnip." Timothy was flabbergasted. "How did you know it was mine?" he asked. Toby held up the turnip, which now glowed softly. "It's got your name on it," he said, pointing to Timothy Tumbleseed etched into the skin. Together, they discovered that the turnip was not only time-traveling, but also intelligent. It communicated through a series of blinks and hums, and with some experimentation, they realized that it could transport them through time when paired with Timothy's inventions. Eager for adventure, and with a thirst for knowledge that matched Timothy's own, Toby became his apprentice. Together, they set out on their first journey, touching the turnip to a contraption that resembled a grandfather clock crossed with a bicycle. With a twist of the turnip and a ringing of the clock's bell, Timothy and Toby were enveloped in a whirlwind of color and sound. When the world settled, they found themselves standing in the midst of a bustling medieval market. People gawked at Timothy's strange attire and Toby's sneakers, but the pair was too enamored with their surroundings to notice. They marveled at the sights and smells, the vendors calling out their wares, and the children running through the cobbled streets. Their adventure took a turn when they inadvertently interfered with a pie thief's escape, resulting in a chase that led them through the town and straight into the castle courtyard, where the king himself was holding court. The king, amused by their odd appearance and intrigued by their tales of travel, welcomed them to his time. Timothy and Toby spent days in the past, learning and laughing, their presence becoming a cherished oddity. But soon, the urge to travel pulled at them again. They bid farewell to the medieval world and, with another twist of the turnip, whisked through the rivers of time to countless other eras. They witnessed the construction of the pyramids, the signing of the Magna Carta, and the discovery of electricity. They met famous figures like Leonardo da Vinci, who was thoroughly fascinated by Timothy's sketches of future inventions, and Cleopatra, who found Toby's description of video games enchanting. With each jump through time, Timothy and Toby collected knowledge and experiences that were priceless. But as is the case with all adventures, trouble was brewing on the horizon. During a visit to the future, they encountered a world that was cold and devoid of the color and vibrancy they had come to love in their travels. People were plugged into machines, living lives devoid of real connection and adventure. Realizing the grim future was the result of a lack of imagination and innovation in the past, Timothy and Toby knew they had to inspire change. They traveled back to key moments in history, spreading ideas and encouraging creativity. They shared stories of their travels, igniting sparks of possibility in the minds of inventors, artists, and leaders. But time travel is a tricky business, and the turnip began to show signs of wear. Its glow dimmed with each journey, and its hum grew fainter. Timothy and Toby understood that their travels would soon come to an end. Determined to make one last jump, they returned to the moment before the turnip was struck by lightning. With careful precision, they redirected the bolt, saving the turnip's power for the future. As they watched from the shadows, the past version of Timothy marveled at the turnip remaining unchanged on the workbench. The future Timothy and Toby, holding the now inert time-traveling turnip, smiled at each other. They had done it. They had ensured the adventures of many more generations. With heavy hearts, but filled with memories, they said their goodbyes. Toby returned to his time, and Timothy to his solitude, each enriched by the knowledge that their actions had altered the future for the better. The tale of Timothy Tumbleseed's time-traveling turnip became a legend in Thistledown, a story passed down through the years of the man and the boy who rode a vegetable through time. And in the quiet of his workshop, Timothy Tumbleseed worked on his next invention, inspired by a boy's courage and a turnip's sacrifice.